Commitment 2024 now in getting the facts in the race for the White House, all as part of WMUR's partnership with PolitiFact. Lou Jacobson from PolitiFact joining us once again. Hey, Lou, great to see you. So we're going to dive right into these claims today, looking at claims by both former President Trump and Vice President Harris. And we're going to look at what each is saying about the other, because they're spending a lot of time now on the campaign trail talking about each other, their records, their plans, and so that's what we're digging in. So we'll start with this one from the former president. During a recent rally in Las Vegas, Trump said this about Vice President Harris, quote, "She wants to bring back the draft and draft your child and put them in a war that should have never happened." So is Trump correct about Harris wanting to bring back the draft? And if he can, what war is he talking about there too?
No, she didn't say that. Trump is trying to blame her for something that some Senate Democrats would like to see. But even on that part, Trump is wrong, too. Trump's team told us he was referring to a recent Senate proposal to mandate that women register for the draft, just as men do today. But even if that passes the Senate and then gets signed into law, which is far from guaranteed, it's still a far cry from bringing back the draft, which was last used in 1973. Currently, men between 18 and 25 do register for the draft, but actually drafting people into military service would take an act of Congress in a national emergency. Either way, Harris hasn't been talking about this topic at all. So actually, we gave this a pants on fire, which is our worst rating.
Okay. Yeah, so he was actually talking about the Senate and selective service. Got it. And then on the other side of things, we'll take a look at a claim from the vice president when it comes to the former president. During an interview this week on MSNBC, Harris made this claim about the former president when it came to the economy, saying, quote, "Even before the pandemic, he lost manufacturing jobs. By most people's estimates, at least 200,000. What did you find about this claim?
Yeah, we gave this a mostly false. She does have a point that the manufacturing sector began to stumble under Trump prior to the pandemic. Factory output fell for about a year before the pandemic hit, and the number of people holding jobs in the sector fell by about 48,000. But that's still only about 1/4 of the 200,000 jobs lost that she talked about. You can only get to 200,000 jobs lost if you also count the job losses during the pandemic, which she had said in the interview that she was not counting. And then also the pandemic was a once-in-a-century event that you really can't pin the blame for job losses solely on Trump. To her credit, though, she did use a better phrasing of that talking point earlier in the day during a different speech in Pittsburgh. But still, the interview was seen by more people, and that's why we fact-checked it.
All right, Lou Jacobson, I'm sure there's going to be no shortage of fact checks to come in the next 39 days or so. So we'll see a lot. Thanks, Lou.
Sounds good.